You cannot write it any better than this. It's actually hard for me to hear you. The party is only growing out here. Let me just show you around for a bit. You can see just a sea of green here.
So the MBTA is trying to streamline the rider process. As of now, of course, you have to load up a Charlie card at one of the kiosks, bring it here and tap it at the gate. But in a matter of weeks, a simple tap of the phone will do the trick. People who live around here tell me this mail carrier has been on their route for years. A lot of them saw the video and say they're stunned this happened here. It's hard to overstate how big these blades are. Each is longer than a football field, and each of them weighs more than 70 tons. So when that blade broke in half, it sent large chunks of debris right into the ocean. By multiple accounts, police were after this guy for hours, but things really came to a head when he pulled into this parking lot above me. That's when police cornered him. He launched his truck through the fence over this wall, and he just kept going. This was a really heavy and wet snow, people shoveling it, as you're about to see, having their work cut out for them. But the temperatures have been dropping so quickly that it's just turned essentially into ice at this point. That's what's coating these roadways here. Well, Lisa, David, what a night we have had here. You were about to meet someone named Sam. He was working right here on his car, trying to get it to start when he says a guy in handcuffs ran right up to him. But it's what Sam did next that's credited for ending this manhunt. President Joe Biden did not spend a dime on his campaign in New Hampshire. In fact, he never filed the paperwork to be on the ballot after the Democratic National Committee opted to move their first in the nation primary to South Carolina. Now, President Joe Biden wasn't even in New Hampshire tonight when he won. Instead, he opted for a campaign event in Virginia. Police! Simply put, the video is stunning. Body camera footage released and edited by the department shows Fall River police officers entering the burning Gabriel house Sunday night.
Help him get him down.
One by one, the 13 officers brought residents out of the building, many unable to walk on their own. They would help them out windows and down ladders, carrying wheelchairs down 3 flights of stairs, and go back in over and over again without oxygen tanks or fire gear. The city's fire chief praising their work.
That's not their job. That's not their comfort zone. So for them to be able to recognize that, to go in, to take the smoke that they did, and to save people, that was absolutely amazing.
I got him!
The release of the video comes as the WBZI team has learned investigators are looking into a number of issues, including the possibility the fire was caused by smoking near an oxygen tank. Earlier this week, family members of people who lived here told us the building reeked of cigarette smoke.
As you know, people are on nasal cannulas that come up like this, and not all of the oxygen goes into their system, but gets expelled into the room. And what that does is allow the a fire to grow more rapidly.
Head to toe, like her face was unrecognizable, it was swollen.
And on Thursday, news a 10th resident passed away. We first told you about 66-year-old Brenda Cropper on Monday. She suffered burns to half of her body. Now her family wants closure.
I just want the person the owner of the building to take accountability and apologize, just to say sorry, to have empathy.
And the I team has learned investigators are looking over the possibility that the building's sprinkler system may have been clogged and not working properly. The state fire marshal says they're looking over a year's worth of inspections. 5 people remain hospitalized. In Fall River, Brandon Truitt, WBZ News. Well, David and Lisa, the video is just under 2 minutes long. In it, his family makes this plea directly to ICE for his release, and it includes his father, who ICE was after in the first place.
Please bring my son back.
In this low-resolution video from his attorney, the family of 18-year-old Marcelo Gomez sits in his bedroom speaking for the first time since their son was detained by ICE over the weekend. Federal agents say they were looking for his father.
I miss you, my son. I love you, my son. We love America. Please bring my son back.
And I really miss sleeping with my brother, saying goodnight. I just really miss having him with me. I just want to give him a hug back.
A strong serve that deflects down off the hands
At the same time across town, a Milford High School volleyball game. Hundreds of people wearing white in support of the high school junior who wasn't on the court.
The stands rocking once again.
People were screaming, people were clapping. It was probably one of the best games I've seen at Milford High.
This community has been rocked by this. There are signs of support all over town, on cars, t-shirts, and they line the walls of the gym too.
It's honestly really sad to see how this is happening, and it's honestly really touching because he was really great.
For me to hear the news about him getting locked up and stuff, it's like why? It's like he didn't do anything wrong. I just love him. He's my friend.
A spokesperson for the Gomez family tells us he's in a facility without beds, has been given little food, mostly crackers, and he's caught some kind of virus with his younger siblings, hoping he's home soon.
When he gets back, I will get him a really big hug. But Ice, please get him out, please.
Gomez's attorney tells me that he entered the country legally about a decade ago with a student visa, but that visa has lapsed. He has his first appearance in front of a judge on Thursday afternoon. That's when his attorney is going to file a petition for his release. Live in Milford, Brandon Truitt, WBZ News.
We have multiple casualties.
It was a Saturday night in September. The Sky Meadow Country Club in Nashua, New Hampshire was packed. There was a wedding reception, and the neighboring restaurant was at prime dinner time when a gunman walked in and opened fire. In all, 3 people were shot. 30-year-old Brianna Truitt was one of them. It's been just over a month. How are things going?
They're going better than I thought they would be.
Brianna and her husband Doug were celebrating an anniversary dinner. The couple married here 5 years ago. Doug, a firefighter in Lynn, taking this picture of Brianna moments before the gunman walked in. When did you know something was off?
Yeah, we heard that first clap, and I don't think anybody realized it was a gunshot at first because everybody just kind of looked, and he was standing there with a gun pointed in our direction.
All I saw was his gun. It feels like screenshots of what I can see. I see the gun, I hear Doug telling me to get down, and then just bits and pieces.
The couple says the gunman was in their direct line of sight, no more than 20 feet away, and remained silent as he fired multiple rounds. Doug launching himself over the table to cover Brianna, not knowing she had already been shot in the leg. I can't think of a bigger act of love than that.
I think anyone who knows Doug is not surprised by hearing that. He is just a really great person and a great husband, and I'm so happy that I was there that night with him.
The couple has 2 young kids who were top of mind through the entire ordeal.
This guy tried to take us away from our kids, you know what I mean? Thinking of my kids having to grow up without their parents. It's just, it gets you.
59-year-old Robert DeCesar was shot and killed that night. The husband and father jumped on his own family to protect them. An employee of the country club was also wounded by gunfire. Brianna's physical injuries continue to heal, but the emotional scars cut deep. But she's come a long way.
I didn't even recognize myself. It took me a few days to be able to look in the mirror, and I felt this almost shame feeling. I find myself being able to distract myself, but the second I'm not distracted, it's all I'm thinking about, it's all I'm picturing.
I want to thank the Truitts for allowing us into their home and frankly for their vulnerability here. The couple says it's going to take some time before they feel comfortable going back to that country club. It's a place that represents really the best and worst days of their lives.
My heart kind of sank. I was like, oh my goodness.
It was a picture-perfect July 4th in Woods Hole. Best friends Margaret Bowles and Madeline Cronin were paddleboarding for hours near Stony Beach, as they often do.
And I was like, oh, take a picture of me, take it, right? And then next to her board, this 8-inch out of the water fin. It's fleshy and gray, and I'm like, oh my goodness.
It was this picture Madeline took of Margaret. Just there to the far right, a fin, quickly followed by the fear. You can see Margaret's face change in the second picture when she realizes what's under them.
When I am looking through the phone and I see her face change from just happy, whatever, to oh my God, there's a shark.
It was about a foot away from Madeline's board. She says she could feel it passing by.
So immediately we kicked into like, we got to get out of here.
From there, it was kind of just like, go, 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 get to the beach. Not many thoughts after that.
Margaret and Maddie hightailed it back to this landing here. Maddie paddling so fast, she broke her oar. Once the two were settled, they reported the sighting using an app on their phone. That request made its way to John Chisholm.
And in this case, the shark had a pointed dorsal fin, so I knew it was a white shark.
Chisholm works with the New England Aquarium and interviewed the women to determine it was a fully grown white shark, roughly the size of one of the paddle boards.
In that location, it's pretty rare for a white shark, but it has happened in the past.
Back in 2004, a white shark got stuck in a salt pond at Woods Hole. It turned into a bit of a spectacle. In this case, Chisholm says the women did the right thing, staying calm, getting out, and notifying officials.
I think we were both quite calm given the circumstances, which I'm super grateful for, because it definitely would have been easy for one of us to freak out and like fall off the board or something.
They say a picture's worth 1,000 words, and this one certainly tells a story, with both women vying to be back on the water soon.
I'll take a few days, a little bit of a break from the ocean, but I'll be back eventually.
In Falmouth, Brandon Truitt, WBZ News.
I'm actually going to start with my favorite ones.
From his upstairs bedroom in his childhood home in Hudson,
my brother, my mom, and me.
18-year-old Max Zalewski shows off his artwork. He drew it all himself.
They're my favorite.
But Max wasn't always Max. He was born a girl and started transitioning a few years ago. What does it feel like to be in the wrong body?
It felt a lot like I wasn't home. I didn't feel like I was home in my own body. And that inner turmoil of not feeling comfortable like in your own skin is really like taxing.
Max said he knew he was different from around the 7th grade, and after years of fighting it, he had a breakthrough in high school when he tried on men's gym clothes. What is that clarity?
You sort of begin to see yourself in a different way, and I think it was especially powerful having my own reflection in front of me, because it really visualized like, oh, for the first time ever, there's someone looking back at me that I know and that I feel like I've met before, and it's like, oh, that's me.
Max was 15 when he saw himself for the first time. He graduated high school a few weeks ago, but talks like he's twice his age. It's not always been easy, but he's had some help along the way. His older brother, Thea, who lives in Vermont, is also transgender. The two sisters becoming brothers together.
It's really hard to function in a world that doesn't want you to function. There's so much hatred and BS that's going on, and so it's really, really great to look at someone and see them thriving and say, you know what, like, I can do that too, and I am doing that.
Then you kind of mourn those kids that you thought you had.
Glinda Bork and Bob Zalewski are Max's parents. Bob is as level-headed as they come, a former firefighter, but a father first.
Well, I just thought he's got to be the person he wants to be.
It's that simple for you?
Yeah, it was really no big deal, because we're all God's children. Who are we to judge? It's just, that's your child. God gave you that child. You should cherish that child as a gift from him and just do the best you can to get that child into adulthood. That's as simple as it was for me.
Glinda had more to let go of, working for years to better understand her son's complexities and their paths towards self-discovery.
But I think it's important to mourn the loss, to mourn the gender that you thought they were, and to then accept who they've become.
Back with Max, do you feel safe? Like, what is that like?
I'm so lucky to be in Massachusetts. There are some places, and high school was definitely one of them. The kids in high school were one of them, where it just didn't feel safe. And that was a lot of, during COVID, coming back to school, I was so glad I didn't have to show my face. I got to be like this and have a hat on.
He feels a little less pressure to hide, and thankful for the parents he has, knowing it's not the case for everyone, no matter how much he wishes it was.
That's one of the most healing things for someone, and it could really, really pull them out of that darkness and that confusion. Hang up your beliefs at the door and just look at your kid as your kid. They're always going to be your kid. They're always going to be a part of your life.
A message of love, acceptance, and a little more empathy. In Hudson, Brandon Truitt, WBZ News.